Okay guys, here's our review packet video for our Unit 9 test. Since this is just on the key for the review packet, I'm not going to go through this. So let's just start down here. It says identify the center and radius of the following. Well, remember the center is going to be at the opposite of these numbers. Remember the formula is x minus h. We see a minus 9, so the x coordinate is a positive 9. We see a plus 2, so our x coordinate or our y coordinate is a minus 2. Our radius is the square root of this. This is r squared, so my radius is 7. Okay. Remember, the formula itself looks like this. So that's why I matched up the r squareds, right? And then the h and the k. Okay, let's skip down a little bit. Or let's do number 5. Write the equation of a circle given the following. So remember, it's going to be x minus this. So minus a minus 3 is plus 3. Y minus a minus 2, so plus 2. Radius squared is 100. Okay, let's see if we can graph. Let's do number 6. My center is going to be at -1, positive 2. My radius is going to be 3. So I'm going to go, this is my side to side. This is my up and down. So I'm going backwards 1, up 2. So that's my center. My radius is 3, so I'm going to go 3 in every direction from the center and put a point. That is my circle, the radius of 3. Okay. Let's go on to the next page. Remember, I'm just going to do a selected set of problems this time. Okay. Number 8, name the arc by the given angle. Well, notice here's angle 2. This is a minor arc, so it's less than 180 degrees. It's going to be arc IH. Here's angle 8, right? So we're going to call this, it's a major arc, so we have to use 3 letters, so G towards F towards E. Find the measure of the central arc. So remember, whenever we have a central arc, this angle is going to be exactly the same as the measure of that arc. So if this is 47, this is 47. We want to find the measure of this. Well, these are vertical angles. This is a central angle, so these will be the same. So the measure of angle, or sorry, the measure of arc TU is going to be 47. Here we've got 80 and 80. That's a diameter, so those two have to add up to 180, so that will be 100 and 100. IJ is this thing right here. So that's going to be 100 degrees. Number 10, find the perimeter. Well, this is a party hat problem, right? So it means this is going to be the same as this. This is going to be the same as this. And this is going to be the same as this. If this is 7.5, this is 7.5. I'm going to subtract that away from 14.7. So I have 7.2 left for this section, which means this section right here will be 7.2. I've used up 2 of my 15.2, so I have 8 here and 8 here. And then for my perimeter, all I'm going to do is add this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this. Number 11, here's my second tangent rule. Whenever a tangent line, remember this would keep going if it kept going, it touches just the circle once. This is a radius. A tangent and a radius meet at a 90-degree angle. There's a second pair here. These 4 angles, since they're in a quadrilateral, have to add up to 360. So 75 plus 90 plus question mark plus 90 equals 360. Well, 90 plus 90 is 180, plus 75 is, 180. I think it's 255. So I'm going to subtract that 255 away, and I get my value is 105. Number 12. We want to solve for this. Well, we know from here to here is 7.2. Okay. I think the easiest thing to do is say, okay, let's call this whole thing here x. Because this is a radius and a tangent, this is a 90-degree angle, so I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to say 7.2 squared plus 15.4 squared is equal to x. Well, 7.2 squared is 51.84. 15.4 squared is 237.16. Well, if I add those two things together, I get 289. If I take the square root of both sides, I get that x equals 17. So this whole green thing is 17, but I only want the question mark. So I'm going to do 17 minus 7.2, and I get a grand total of 9.8. Okay. Number 13, whenever I have a chord, so this thing is a chord, if it intersects with something that goes through the center at a 90-degree angle, this is one of our chord rules, it won't show up very often, but it will cut this into two congruent parts. So what I can do is I can say, okay, let's look at this triangle first. I know that 12.4 squared plus x squared equals 21.2 squared, and I can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for x. Once I get x, x and y are going to be the same thing, so y will be whatever x was. You can do that by yourself. Let's move down to number 14. Okay. The first thing I do is notice I'm solving for an arc. So this is either an on, in, or out problem. Notice here's an angle that I'm going to use. That vertex is on the circle. So this is an on problem. Remember, my angle is half of my arc. My angle is 40. We're solving for my arc. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, and I'll get that this is 80. Okay. Number 15. Here's my angle. It's outside the circle. This is an angle and arc problem, so it's one of these. My point, my vertex is outside the circle. So my formula is that my angle is equal to 1/2 arc minus arc. Don't forget that 1/2. Now this one's pretty tricky, so see if you can follow along with me. Let's call this x. If this were 100, we would subtract that from 360 to get the rest of this. So if this is 100, this would be 260. If this were 60, we would subtract it away from 360, and we would get 300. No matter what this is, we have to subtract it from 360 to get whatever this is. So I have 360 minus whatever I've used up already. So remember, if this is 50, this becomes 310. If this is 100, this becomes 260. But this is how I can represent it algebraically. My angle is 68. My big arc is 360 minus x. My small arc is x. Okay. That's going to give me 1/2 360 minus 2x. If I distribute the 1/2, I'll get 180 minus x. I'm going to add x onto this side. I'm going to subtract 68 on this side. There's my value for x. Number 16, this is also an out problem, but this is a much easier out problem. My angle is going to be 1/2 arc minus arc. My angle is what we're solving for. My bigger arc is 181. My smaller one is 71. That's going to give me 110. My angle is going to be 55 degrees. Okay. Let's keep going. I know this is kind of fast, but I hope this will help you guys out. Okay. Actually, let's stop this video here, and I will put up a second video in a little bit.